You ever have one of those days where your whole world gets turned upside down by something as simple as a fence? That was me, standing on my front porch in a quiet little cul-de-sac in Willow Creek, Virginia, sipping my morning coffee, when a black Jeep comes tearing down the street like it's auditioning for a Fast and Furious sequel, swerving, tires squealing, and plows right into the oak fence I'd spent weeks building, with splintering like it was hit by a wrecking ball. Before I could even process the chaos, the driver's door flies open, and out steps Linda, the neighborhood's self-anointed HOA dictator, clutching a Starbucks cup the size of a small bucket, screaming at me like I'd personally thrown her car into my yard. "Your fence is illegal, Tom. You caused this," she yells, her voice sharp enough to cut glass, pointing those manicured nails at me like I'm some criminal mastermind who built a fence just to ruin her day. Now, let me paint the picture. I'm just a guy who likes his coffee black, his lawn neat, and his weekends free to tinker in the garage. That fence. It was my pride and joy, hours of sweat, measuring every post to the inch, staining it under the Virginia sun until my back was screaming. And here's Linda, not even glancing at the wreckage of my work, claiming I'm the problem because her Jeep couldn't stay on the road. The neighbors start poking their heads out, some snickering behind their hands, others whispering, their eyes wide like they're watching a reality show unfold. I'm standing there, heart pounding, not just because my fence is toast, but because I know this isn't about wood and nails. This is Linda picking a fight, and I've just been dragged into a war I didn't sign up for. Linda's got this reputation, see. She's the kind of person who'd fine you for leaving a garden gnome too close to the sidewalk, the kind who walks around with the HOA handbook like it's the Bible, ready to smite anyone who dares plant a rosebush without permission. And me? I'm just trying to live my life, keep my head down, maybe grill some burgers on Saturday without a citation. But that morning, as she's waving her coffee cup and yelling about setback violations, I feel this fire in my chest, not just anger, but this gut-deep realization that if I let her steamroll me, she'll never stop. Not with me, not with anyone. The neighbors are watching, some nodding like they get it, others too scared to make eye contact because Linda's got a history of making life hell for anyone who crosses her. Like poor Mrs. Jenkins down the street, who got slapped with a $200 fine for a non-compliant mailbox color beige, by the way, same as everyone else's. So, I don't say much that day. I just nod, let her rant, let her think she's won, while I'm already planning. I start taking pictures of the wreckage, time-stamping everything, because something tells me this is going to get uglier. And boy, does it. The next morning, I find a crisp, official-looking letter taped to my door, HOA violation notice, accusing me of endangering public safety with my fence, demanding I rebuild it at my expense and pay for the scratches on Linda's Jeep. I'm reading this thing, my hands shaking, half laughing, half furious, because it's so absurd it's almost performance art. She's claiming my fence jumped into the street like it had a personal vendetta. And the kicker? She's got the HOA board eating out of her hand, especially the president, Carl, this spineless guy who nods along to whatever she says like he's auditioning for her fan club. Over the next week, it's like Linda's declared open season on me. I get notices for stuff that doesn't even exist: weeds in my yard, trash cans left out too long, even a bird feeder she claims is a mosquito hazard. I'm out there with my phone, snapping photos of my pristine lawn, my tucked-away bins, my bone-dry bird feeder, building a case like I'm some amateur detective. And the neighbors? They're starting to talk. Quietly at first, like they're afraid Linda's got spies behind every hydrangea. But then I hear stories how she reported a young couple for letting their kids draw chalk hearts on the driveway, how she fined old Mr. Thompson for a flagpole that was too patriotic. It's like she's built this empire of fear, and I'm just the latest guy in her crosshairs. But I'm not folding. I start digging. Late at night, I'm scrolling through old neighborhood newsletters, public records, anything I can find. And I hit pay dirt. Linda's done this before. Another HOA, another town, where she got booted after whispers of skimming funds. There's even a grainy forum post from some guy saying she tried to fine him for his dog barking once. It's a pattern: control, intimidate, repeat. And here in Willow Creek, she's got Carl wrapped around her finger, probably because she knows something he doesn't want out. I'm watching her now, from my window, seeing her stop by Carl's house every evening, talking low into her phone, gesturing like she's plotting a coup. It's chilling, but it's also fuel. I'm not just fighting for my fence anymore, I'm fighting for everyone she's bullied. Things escalate when I wake up to red spray paint across my driveway. Property hazard, in big, ugly letters. No proof it's her, but come on, it's got Linda's petty energy all over it. Then my trash cans get dragged down the block, contents scattered like a bad prank. I'm furious, but I keep my cool, because my security cameras catch everything. One night, I get her on tape, standing by her Jeep, ranting into her phone about settlements and covering tracks with Carl. It's like catching a villain monologuing in a movie, and I'm sitting there, grinning, because this is the kind of evidence that doesn't lie. The big showdown comes at the HOA meeting, packed to the rafters with neighbors itching for drama. Linda struts in like she's starring in her own courtroom show, clutching her clipboard, spinning this wild tale about how my fence nearly killed her, how I'm a menace to society. She's got tears, hand gestures, the works like she's rehearsing for an Oscar. Carl's nodding along, pale as a ghost, probably knowing she's dragging him down with her. The room's tense, everyone waiting for me to crack. But I don't. I stand up, calm as you please, and lay out my folder photos of her Jeep embedded in my fence, video of her spray painting my driveway, emails between her and Carl plotting to jack up fines for their own gain. The crowd gasps, then murmurs, then outright laughs as her story falls apart. And then this is the best part, Tim. This quiet board member who's been under her thumb forever, stands up, shaking but steady, and says, "She's been lying to you all. I've seen it. The funds, the fake violations, all of it." The room explodes, neighbors shouting, clapping, finally free to call her out. Linda's face? Priceless. Her smirk's gone, her eyes darting like a trapped animal. She screams about fake evidence, but it's too late. The neighbors are done with her. The board votes her out right there, Carl slumping in his chair like he knows he's next. It's chaos, but the good kind, the kind where people finally stand up. I walk out of that meeting feeling 10 feet tall, not because I won, but because we all did. Of course, Linda doesn't go quietly. She slaps me with a lawsuit, emotional distress, defamation, you name it. It's a desperate move, and I'm not gonna lie, seeing that court summons made my stomach drop. But I've got a lawyer, Sarah, who's like a shark in a suit. In court, Linda's all drama, sobbing about her trauma, claiming my fence attacked her Jeep. Sarah doesn't flinch. She plays the security footage, reads the emails, brings in Tim to testify about the corruption. The judge is trying not to laugh by the end, and when it's over, Linda's case is shredded. Her Jeep was uninsured, her lies exposed, her reputation in the dirt. After that, Willow Creek changes. Linda's a ghost now, scurrying to her mailbox, blinds always drawn. Her Jeep gets repoed one sunny afternoon, neighbors watching like it's a parade. The HOA gets a new board, real people who care about block parties, not power trips. I rebuild my fence, and the neighbors help hammering planks, cracking beers, laughing like we're at a cookout. I put a little plaque on it that says "Stay strong," not to gloat, but to remember what we fought for. Linda moves away eventually, her house sold to a nice family who brings brownies to the next block party. And me? I'm back to my coffee, my lawn, my quiet mornings, but I'm different now. I learned something: sometimes you don't just fight for yourself. You fight for the people who can't, for the idea that no one should live under someone else's thumb. But here's the thing that keeps me up sometimes. Linda's gone, but there's always another Linda out there, isn't there? Someone ready to twist the rules, to make life harder than it needs to be. So, what do you think? How do you handle someone like that? Have you ever had to stand up to a bully in your neighborhood? Or was I just lucky to get this kind of drama? Drop a comment. Share your story. I'm all ears. Because trust me, after this, I know we've all got a tale to tell.